When it rains, till 20 and we get here.
Lacey.
It's our city.
60 Northwest.
We got that.
Lacey.
So pretty. Loving it when you rain on me. There ain't nothing like my city.
And action.
Babe just got back from the dentist, so we're a little bit late because can't do this without my babe.
I'll make it do what it do, baby. Yeah.
The last time we did this together like this, it was 100 days later, which was 100 days after I got out. And we just popped it, got live, and since then, now we are 238 days after my release.
138 days later from the later.
138 days later from the 100 days later. And here we go. It's been so much blessings and just life is good. And one thing I want to say is invest your energy in something positive. Babe just went to the dentist, so she's a little... But it's like, when I look back at everything just in the last 238 days, like I come from getting out of prison with essentially starting from scratch, and then we are now here, you know, where...
We are here.
We are here!
We are the Willises, hear us roar.
The journey has been fun and it's ongoing. This is how we keep our marriage live, by laughing and being fun.
By going live.
And going live. We keep it live. But, you know, it's just one of those things where you got to really look at everything that you have. And I've said it to the homie yesterday. Gratitude is a superpower. Just being grateful for what you have, for where you are in life, for the things that matter the most. Invest in your energy is something that I've really tried to embody in the way that I live my life now, opposed to spending my energy on negative things, battles that you know you can't win. There's no point in arguing with people that you love. You should be trying to bring people together in a cohesive way so that you can pursue things that matter. And, you know, when I got out, I had a bunch of ideas that I wrote down when I was in prison. I had a bunch of people in my corner that were, you know, about supporting those ideas. And here we are, not even a full year later, you know, just barely 6 months, you know, just barely past 6 months. And we have already accumulated, you know, a big support pool from the community. You know, with the Love and Lacey podcast, you know, we're going to get into that in a minute, how we went from just an idea, basically, when we did our 100 days later live video for the first time. It's still on my page. Some of you guys have recently looked at that. That sparked all these ideas of how we could contribute to the community and how we can kind of expose ourselves and share ourselves and our story and our lives with our community, and be transparent and be open. And now, you know, just yesterday, about 80% of the paperwork and the forms are done for the Pursue It If You Want It nonprofit organization, where we're going to focus on helping hope dealers, you know, maintain their longevity in the field. All you peer workers, recovery coaches, direct service members, you know, our focus is going to be there. And also, on the other side of that, is we're going to reach in to the prison systems and the jail systems and solicit and get at people that are in there thinking about coming into the field of peer work and community involvement, but yet they don't know how, or they don't believe that they can. So my organization is going to contact them, assign them mentors, and walk them through all the steps of becoming an integral part of the community, and essentially, hopefully, getting a job in the field of giving back. And so that's what Pursue It If You Want It's all about. If you look at the links that are attached to this live. The pursueitifyouwantit.org is in there. The episode that I really went live to talk about it. So a lot of people have been making comments and talking about how we had Sheriff Derek Sanders on an episode. Even Derek mentioned during the episode that here's officers, you know, kind of giving him flack for, you're going on a podcast with Blau Willis. Like, man. And usually our podcast, we try to keep it between 40 minutes, an hour at the most. That particular episode, and the links in here, was an hour and 42 minutes.
5 hours later.
5 hours later. And we were able to really bring to light some things that I would have never known had I had the courage to reach out to the sheriff and him have the willingness to reach back to me and create this space and this forum where we could sit down, you know, an ex-felon, an ex-leader of organized crime, allegedly, that he personally arrested, and now he's sitting on a couch, on a chair, and I'm sitting on a couch, and we're talking, and we're talking about community, and we're talking about like who he is as a person and what he brings to the table for our community and the homelessness, you know, crisis that we are dealing with. And he did bring up some really good points that there are so many little tiny homes that people just don't even know about. You know, there's a lot of things, a lot of behind the scenes things with the politics of being a sheriff that we don't know about. There's a lot of laws that are passing and police reform and things that if you watch this episode, you will become enlightened to some things I'm pretty sure you didn't know about before we were able to get him to agree and sit down with us and talk about these things.
Which I think it would be fun to do another one if we could get more engagement from our listeners and the community. We did originally ask people if they had questions, but we didn't get too much like responses. And so I think now that you guys have like seen the episode and heard us talking to him, that you might have ideas, or now you're thinking of things you should have asked. And maybe like 6 months down the road, we can organize another catch up, you know, with him again and answer stuff. It was also like, I wanted to be like quirky and funny and like kind of like ask him not so serious stuff. But then like I just got caught up in the moment, and then I just got really like interested in the topics and stuff. And I just started inquiring about like more serious stuff, and then I think it just like kept going from there for all of us. We all had like so much stuff that we wanted to know, that we were interested in, and like you were really interested in like how he can help you help him help the community.
Yeah, and that's a conversation I hope to continue to have, is how we can incorporate that relationship and that community building with the sheriff departments and the other PDs, you know, getting involved more. Like there's one program called LEAD program where there's peers working hand in hand, you know, with law enforcement to try to avoid people getting incarcerated. So it's like an incarceration deterrent project, and they team up with peers. And I just think there needs to be more peers. There needs to be more people getting involved, and there needs to be less stigma on people coming out of prison who's done 4, 5, 6 years, and they spend all that time in prison, you know, doing programs. You know, some dudes have written books and this and that. Then they get out and they're like, oh, you can't get a job because you just got out. Not because you just committed a crime, but because you just finished paying your debt for committing that crime. So you can't have a job until however many years after you've paid your debt. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the things that I also want to bring with, you know, pursueitifyouwantit.org is giving those opportunities right away. Because if somebody's coming out of prison and they have this fire under them to do something bigger and better, and a lot of treatment is revolved around meaning and purpose. And if somebody tries to take away your meaning and purpose by constantly shutting doors on you and telling you no, then it's real easy to get discouraged and fall back into old habits. So I think the ideal, you know, person to be involved in this type of movement and community work and peer work is somebody who's coming out of their sentence with fresh ideas and that fresh energy and that passion to do more and contribute. And I want to be the company and part of an organization that says you can work here or you can do it for us, because these other companies won't hire you because you just got out, opposed to like giving somebody a chance based on the merit of what they've done. look into what they did while they were in prison. Have you ever thought about that? Some dudes are coming home with 20, 15 certificates, classes. They were mentors, certificates. You know what I'm saying? And they're still not getting a chance because somebody will look at the fact that they just got out as a means to stigmatize and put them in this box of they don't deserve to work in our field or have a decent job or a desk job or office job.
Or they just automatically feel defeated because in the history of itself, it's almost impossible for people to come out of those situations with the background being a newer thing and a stigma on them as another newer thing and try to rise above and be normal.
Say it like your lips ain't numb.
Shut the hell up. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
But so the sheriff posted, him coming on that, and there was 900 and something reactions on his post. So people are paying attention. There were so many different, responses and positive feedback to that forum. It just goes to show that this is something that is desired. This is something that people want to see more of. This is something that more people need to be involved in. And this is something that I'm going to continue to bring to the fold. And, shout outs to everybody that's involved and has been involved from the beginning stages and Pursue It If You Want It, into existence, from an idea to an actual website to, pretty soon we're going to have our first board meeting and decide, the mission and the direction that this organization is going to take to be of the best possible service with reentry and burnout prevention for direct service workers, and just creating these community cohesive connections that forward thinkers need. We need these things in our community. We need more people sitting down that people think shouldn't sit down. Conversations are what opens the doors, and people are so scared to just have a conversation, based on something they look up. But they'll absorb all this crap information on the internet. They'll absorb all kind of shit, that's negative, and conspiracy theories and this and that. But when it comes down to having a real authentic conversation with somebody that has good ideas about our community, I give kudos to Derek Sanders, our sitting sheriff right now, and I appreciate him coming on, the Loving Lacey podcast and exposing himself. Like, we asked him some personal questions, we asked him some political questions, we asked him some technical questions, and he never hesitated to give us an answer, and he really believes in avoiding hypocrisy at all costs, which was, I asked him his top 3 priorities that he believed in himself, and if he believed his actions aligned with those priorities. And the first one he said is he really takes action on not being a hypocrite, not saying don't do this, don't do that, or don't move like this, and then turning around and doing it. So I'll give him props. His energy was authentic.
Even he got into I was just scanning his page the other day after we interviewed him, and he had gotten in an accident in April, I think, and he put the footage up, his body cam footage and the WSP officer that showed up on site of him. He was unconscious, and it shows him hanging out of his police vehicle and stuff, and he put that out there because I guess there was talk about that, Sheriff Rex, blah blah blah, blah, and going over the speed limit. Da, 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 da. He posts that. He just likes to keep it real, which I like and appreciate too. Or he'll put his foot pursuits on there, just funny and interesting stuff and things that most sheriffs especially wouldn't do. So it's good to know that we have someone that wants to show us everything inside and out and is transparent and trying to be transparent for us.
Yeah, and not only that, he's not sitting behind a desk, pushing paper, trying to be a politician. One thing that he really said that resonated with me, and I thought was kind of funny, but it was awesome. He was like, I'm not an expert politician. I'm not an expert at this. He said, I don't even consider myself an expert on law enforcement. He said, what you have is a sheriff that is running the sheriff department on common sense. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's all it takes, man. A little common sense, a little forward thinking. You know, and he also said, and this is another thing that I liked about him, is he said, I am not scared to say, I don't know. And a lot of people in politics and higher ups, you know, we work for people that are our bosses and this and that. They always feel like they have to have an answer. I'm one of those people too. I don't know. If I don't know, I don't know. It's better for me to say I don't know, because then maybe together we can go figure out an answer. Then we both become richer from that encounter, you know. But trying to spin a tale about something you don't know actually is more harmful than it is good. It's more destructive, because now you're setting somebody off with some information that isn't valid, and then they believe they know something that they don't know because you made up something, rather than just say, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know how to do that. You know, there's power in that. There's power in being humble and continuing to be a student of life, continuing to know that you can grow, you can do better, you can be better. You know, your relationships can be better, your parenting can be better, your friendships can be better, your family can operate better. And as long as you have that mentality, like, the quality of your life will continue to be better. You know, pursue it if you want it. Started out as a slogan, and now it's an organization. And soon, hopefully, in the next year or two, it'll be a movement, you know, for people to become better versions of themselves in all aspects. For the stigma behind somebody doing time and then coming out to not be so prevalent and just so, like, it's crazy how many people didn't want me to be where I'm at. And I remember the first week I got hired at where I work, somebody had contacted my director saying, are you sure about this person? He's doing this, and I don't know about that. And, you know, it's like, that's fine. That's all right. Because I'm not moving in the direction I'm moving to prove anything to anybody else. I set myself free way before I got out of prison. And the mentality that I have is, you know, if you're not contributing to the quality of my life, if you don't like the way I'm moving, if you don't believe in what I'm saying or what I'm doing, that's fine. That's fine. I don't have energy. I don't have time to put my energy into worrying about people that have negative opinions about positive things. It makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like, we're here to inspire, to help people grow, and hopefully more people.
And I'm here to learn.
I'm also here to learn.
We have a parenting bank group nowadays.
Yeah, it's a Facebook group.
If you're not on it, join it as if you're a parent and give your input. Tell your stories, because I love going on there. And I actually, someone the other day was commenting about something that they saw on there, and they started doing it with their kids. But it's funny because they didn't like respond to the actual post or react to the actual post. So people are still utilizing other people's tools behind the scenes too. Just because they don't comment on it or respond to it doesn't mean that they're not taking that advice and input and putting it to use or trying it. I love it. I love it for me personally.
Yeah, it's called the Parenting Bank. It's a public group. So many positive things have been put in there. So much education. People drop links in there, you know, about parenting to make things better. And it's just one of those things where the more people get involved, the better we are as a community. The better we are as parents, the better children we're bringing up, the better the next generation going to be. It's all, you know, residual. It's all investment. Energy invested is way better than energy spent. You invest your energy into positive things come back. And Babe used to hate that saying. If you do good things will happen. But at the end of the day, when you're doing good things, you're making good things happen. So that's why they happen, because you're making them happen. It takes effort. It takes desire. It takes commitment. And, you know, here we are. Maybe next time, 600 days later, I don't know. Maybe. But I'm just, I'm very grateful.
Next time we'll be millionaires.
Huh. Who knows? You know me, I'll give away most of it. So my thing is, I want to, you know, give real big shout outs. I know I tagged a bunch of you, but like, you know, my journey, Threat, you have been an amazing inspiration. I've never in my entire life had a mentor or somebody that I honestly like really looked up. Well, there is one other person, but in this space, I've never had a mentor that was there guiding me along. Like other businesses I have done, I did it all by myself. I didn't go to business school or get that, formal education to do that. I just went to the business office and asked questions. And so, Threat, I really, really want to give you a heartfelt appreciation and shout out to you and to Jill, one of my good friends, for not only introducing us, but for supporting all this stuff even before I got out. Like, no, the people I talked to, Calvin, Caleb, Brian, aka Mama's Boy, one of my best friends, you know what I'm saying? When I brought these ideas to you guys when I was incarcerated, my cousin has been one of the biggest supporters of me from day one. Didn't care what I was doing. Call her Mama Neutral, aka Erica Doppy. I see you. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all's support. And things are going to just keep moving forward in this positive direction. My mom has been a real big support. She helped with my kids when we needed her to. And, my little brother, Hassan, for having a job waiting for me. Caleb did the same thing. When I stepped out of prison, these are the things that made the difference in my success and the immediate, reentry status I was in. Without these people, my brother David bought me a cell phone, sent me some money. This is the organization that I want to bring to other people that aren't in that situation, don't have that support, don't have that family. We want to bring that to people coming home and be able to have funds to give them, cell phones paid for a year, help them with their license, help them with their, legal obligations. Because if we remove all the barriers and excuses from somebody coming home, the ideal is that they have no other choice but to succeed. Instead of turning your backs on these people and saying, oh, he just got out of prison, like he's not going to do good. Help him. Lift your community up. Because when you finish the bid, that's the debt. When you pay a debt to the bank, they don't keep telling you, oh, you just paid off a debt, so you're not trustworthy. It's like, but I just paid it off. People, imagine if every time you went into debt, they treated being in debt as derogatory, opposed to, when you pay it off, it's gone, it's over. If you pay off something in collections, it comes off collections. It's over, it's done. But why, when somebody does time for a crime, when they get out, they're still treated in the same regards as if they just did that crime? You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things I'm bringing. I'm trying to break all those barriers, give these people a chance to succeed by not automatically assuming that they won't. And even if that is the assumption, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to change it, to make it so that they will succeed? And then you won't have nothing to complain about when these people are talking about the recidivism rate is so high and this and this and that. Well, the resources to oppose that recidivism is nearly non-existent. And the programs that do exist are hard to find, hard to get approved for, hard to get into. So,
right, and it's like, why? What qualifications do you need to get in these programs other than you have fucking nothing and no resources and you're out of prison?
So pay attention.
What else? What do you need to qualify for that?
When you guys start seeing the Pursue It If You Want It logo and we start fundraising, man, contribute, please. Because everything that comes into our nonprofit is going out to inmates and going out to the hope dealers, the people that are in the field doing direct service,
especially if
burnout
you're previously
prevention.
Incarcerated or previously addicted, and now you're in recovery and you're thriving and doing great. These are the things that you need to be giving back to.
Give back.
You were there before too. You know what it's like.
We have no employees. Our organization is going to run off of contracts and giving funds where they are most needed to people coming home so that they don't go back. Because if we fight the recidivism rate, we're basically fighting the conglomerates who are eating off.
Yeah, or if you're a business owner,
prison.
Create that space for those type of employees with the background and the history and the non-ability to, or capability or whatever, to get the job that they want or need.
If you got workshops, if you know people who are teaching parenting classes, donate your time, donate laptops, donate phones, donate things that we can turn around and give people a better chance at coming home when they have nothing, when they have nobody in their corner and everybody in their family have given up on them. Because the last thing we want them to do is reach out to the plug and get that help, because that help comes with a price. And that price equals recidivism. That price equals going back. If someone's got to get out and call somebody that's still in the game, that's still doing crimes for help, that help comes with an obligation to get back in the game. Rarely will that drug dealer who somebody did a gang of time for get out and just give them a bunch of money and be like, all right, we're good. Nah, that's a debt. And the only way to pay that debt is with more time in prison. We need to avoid all that. If they have somewhere else to get those resources, then they don't have no reason to go back out and commit crimes or contact that person, because we give them something to hope for, we give them something to look forward to, and that's where we're at. So when you see that pursueitifyouwantit.org come across and we're fundraising, or you see us out there, grassroots and raising funds, know what it's about. Understand where that money's going. Breaking the cycle. That's right, Becky. We got to break the cycle. And it's going to take somebody like me who is in that cycle for so long. I'm 39 years old. I've spent more than 15 years incarcerated and probably close to 20 just involved in the system. Really, 12 years old was the first time LPD put cuffs on me. And I was defending myself. So we're talking 27 years of consistent involvement with the legal justice system. You might say I'm an expert. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to help. And I'm going to help break the cycle. And eventually we're going to get to the juveniles and trying to create that prevention space. But for now, that is a space that there are other people are in. And as our organization grows and people see what we're doing, I have nothing but high hopes. I hope to crush the recidivism statistics in the next 5 to 10 years. In our area, and then branching out even farther, because someone's got to do it and nobody's doing it enough. You got these sentences that are coming in hot. People want to get rid of like mandatory minimums for drug charges and things like that. And it's ridiculous. You can put somebody away for 10 years without a gun, without violence, without anything, over some drugs. And it's just not right.
That people want, that they're choosing to buy. It's not drugs they're forcing on someone, or like they're not raping someone or forcing them, right? It's something that the opposite side is choosing to buy with their money for their body to harm themselves. I never did understand that shit. Like, rapists and killers get less time than drug dealers. It's retarded. Does it make sense?
Yeah. I got really lucky and I got blessed, because initially, the Thurston County prosecution wanted to put me away for like 349 months without any violence, without any, heavy evidence, other than the fact that I was dealing in some things I shouldn't have been. But to think that their intention was to remove me from society completely it's just, yeah, it hurts to even think about it. And I'm blessed that I ended up in the programs. I ended up going to the feds. I ended up in programs in there, over 500 hours of trainings and rehabilitation courses and things that fueled me to come out here and be like, you know what? It's got to stop. And if nobody else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to pursue it. And we're going to get it happen. So, any money when we print up these hoodies, and if you guys haven't seen them, the Pursue It 365 with the Reach for Your Dreams logo on the back, all the funds for everything we raise, for everything we do, is going to go towards this mission. I have a day job, so I'm not doing this nonprofit to get a check from it for myself. I'm keeping my day job. This is nonprofit at its core. I'm not going to...
We're not going to be the people on the news. It's a scandal for a nonprofit. Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
We're going to be like the people on the news that's like, damn, look at this couple and their community came together and look what they've done.
Yeah, so, we hope to put on things like daddy-daughter dances, son and mom dances, dinners and comedy shows and things to fundraise and things to give people, community togetherness so that we can come together, so that we can network, so that we can figure out how best we can, help our community.
And the things that people want to do and enjoy themselves, like the dances and stuff, not like auctions. Some people do like auctions, don't get me wrong, but it's not always like the funnest thing to do with your time for something, activity to do.
There's just not a lot of activities that are funded that you can go to for free, especially for us workers that are in the field, dealing with trauma case after trauma case after trauma case. I want to really create a space for the hope dealers to deal hope longer. Burnout prevention and self-care is huge. So if you're in that space, if you teach yoga, donate a class. Even if it's just an hour a week, donate time where I can send workers to so that they can get that peace of mind. If it's pottery, if it's art, if you're in this business, donate your time. We are a nonprofit. If it matters to you, we will have the tax exemption, 501, C3 status, and all of that's being done. We're crossing our T's, we're dotting our I's, we're making sure that nothing can tear this down. This isn't the game. This is our life. This is our community that we're trying to help. And I just want everybody.
Yours too.
Yeah.
Your community too.
This is your community. This is, you want it to be safer. You want less crime. Well, help us. Help us make it one of the lowest crime rate, areas that we could possibly make it. Thurston County, 360. Love and Lacey podcast is just another forum that we can talk about and we can show people that we give a fuck about our area.
Yeah, we
care.
Take our time out to try to bring to you local happenings and things to do and fun activities for your family and business, town business, and just stuff, stupidly.
I didn't get a chance to read it, but Courtney shot me a link. There's something going on at Miller, Sylvania. I don't know what it is yet because I just went live right when that text came through. So it was an Olympian link. I don't know if Courtney's watching, if she wants to drop that link, but I don't know what's going on. As soon as I go off live, I'm gonna figure it out.
I know Lakewood was on fire yesterday.
Yeah,
they evacuated.
There's been a lot of things going on, man. The summer creates a lot more. Just things happen in the summer that don't usually happen. We're nearing the end of summer. We're getting back to school. So again, the parenting bank. Go in there. There is some advice we would like to see dropped in there about getting your kids back in the routine for school. I'd like to see a lot of different strategies shared in the parenting bank. It's a public Facebook group because I'm curious. We're only a few weeks out. How are parents getting their kids 6 years old, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever? How are you getting them back into the routine? Because we got a 9-year-old that sleeps like a teenager, stays up till 3 in the morning. Sleeps. She sleep right now. We had to carry her upstairs before we went live, and so I want to figure out what are the best strategies that families are utilizing because, like they say, it takes a village.
Or in the mornings when we are back into the routine of school, it's like to get her to brush her teeth or to just get up. She always has an attitude and it's always like a struggle. And I don't want to start my days off like that. I'm tired of starting my days off like that. It ruins the mood and sets the tone for the morning. And that's annoying. Like, I'm already not a morning person. And so, like, the last thing I need is an attitude from somebody else because I have my own in the morning. Like, I don't need somebody else's attitude contributing to my already tired ass not, so, like, for me, it comes down to the struggle of, like, what do you do when they're being defiant, not listening, unwilling to do it, and you're trying to avoid screaming, and you have to get them to school. So it's not like you can be like, or when you do tell them to go to their room, and they don't, or they say no, what are you going to do? If you go put them in there, and they walk their asses right back out, what do you do? What are you going to do? Like, those are the things that I struggle with, because I'm not putting my hands on them, and it's like I'm at a loss sometimes because at the end of the day, it's defeating and they are winning in a sense because I reach, like, what further can I do? Like, so go on there and give me your input. Tell me, what am I going to do?
And please, you guys, like the page, pursue it if you want it, nonprofit page. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's also, Apple Podcasts for the Love and Lacey Forum. Like, it doesn't cost anything to do those things, and we're not getting any money from,
you
the
subscribing
podcast,
or liking
you subscribing.
it. Yeah.
There's
or watching it.
It's nothing. We're
And
doing
even
it.
if we were, support us. No, we ain't.
Yeah, support us. Because everything that we're bringing in, we're putting out. We're investing our time, our energy. And to me, the definition of love is, investing positive energy, time, thoughts, and actions into a thing or a person. That's love.
What if one day we had so many followers on our YouTube that we were able to do a TED Talk for Pursue It If You Want It?
You know?
Never know.
Help us help each other.
Help you, yeah.
Help us help our community. Help us be better connected. If you guys see me in public, man, push up on me. Have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Drop some, comments. Put questions in there that you want to see.
If you see me in public, don't push up on me.
See, somebody said, take away all privileges.
Leave me the hell alone.
You know what I'm saying? Just, it is what it is. Like, I'm super approachable. I want ideas. I want people to get involved. I want the organization to run itself, and I want people to
tell us what you need. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah, who would you like to see on the forum? Who would you like to see us try to reach out to and get to sit down with us? If I can get congressmen on there, I'll do it. Because to me, for someone to deny a conversation that holds any type of public office, that tells you right there how much they care about our community. Like, why not have a conversation without charging someone to come sit down and have that conversation? It's more beneficial to have these conversations